Hello everyone and welcome to this Cobblemon update video. This is actually Cobblemon 1.5, which is very exciting. I am currently in the lobby of a Cobblemon test world, a super secret test world for content creators, and the lovely team from Cobblemon are going to be showing us around the new update. We'll get a chance to see all of the new features and you'll get to explore them with me. So I hope you're ready for this adventure. I am very excited. This is looking like it's going to be an amazing update. So I'm very excited to try it out. And obviously massive thanks to the whole Cobblemon team who do an absolutely amazing work and give us this opportunity as content creators to experience the packs before they're released, which is an amazing thing from them. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you for all the work you put into the mods themselves. Right, let's join the group and let's see what's going on. Ow!
Let's start doing the ticket system. You guys have a ticket in your shulker box. Go ahead and hand that to me and let me know which fossil you would like.
Can I have a skull fossil, please?
Oh, you stole my idea. Damn it. Go look for a different one now.
Thank you.
You guys understand you're meant to pick like a good
Hello.
one, don't you?
Hey, DGR.
Could I get an
You can
old
pick whoever
amber?
you want.
What was it called? Old amber.
Which one's that?
There you go.
Thank you very much.
It's Arkan.
Alright, this is the museum. We're gonna actually go ahead and move to the back of it because we are going to start reviving your fossil.
We'll just demonstrate how it works, and then you guys will be able to claim your own fossil machine, put your name on a sign, and you'll be able to put your fossil in.
The restoration machines are split up into 3 parts. There is no UI, you just click on the different pieces of it. We have the tank over here, which is what takes in that organic material and breaks it down into a biofluid for the fossil to actually grow inside of, right? Yeah, Vert is demonstrating now. It takes a little bit to fill up, but it'll get there eventually. Different items are worth different points. If you were to use an item like a max revive or something like that, I believe you'd only need 3 or 4 of them to completely fill up the tank. The second part is the data monitor, which is arguably the least important part, but you still need it in order to form the machine. All this does is it essentially lights up the little screen and gives you a status update, like a loading bar as far as how close the fossil is to done. And this compartment down here is where you actually put in the fossil that you want to revive. Once that fossil goes in and this tank is fuel, the process will start and you cannot really stop it without breaking the block.
Code team made sure to make it somewhat automatable, where if you were to add a hopper to this glass tank here for the fuel, it'll accept organic material only, and it'll feed in until it's full, and then it'll stop. And then if you add a hopper to the fossil analyzer, it will only allow fossils that will actually build a fossil Pokemon. So if you had a hopper full of a Drake fossil and a Dome fossil and another fossil, it won't put the Drake fossil in unless it had another matching fossil to make a Pokemon. So let's say it put the Dome fossil in, it knows that it can make a valid Pokemon and it won't accept anything else. However, if there was a Drake and a fish fossil, it would accept both and then not let anything else in. So it's a little bit smart in that way. That way you can make some crazy fossil machine contraptions where it'll process all your fossils. And then if it receives a redstone input, then it'll eject the Pokemon out as a wild Pokemon. That way if you want to have a roaming fossil area, you can just have it spawning wild fossil Pokemon in an area. Another thing too, I don't know if it was mentioned, if it's fully complete and you're ready to take your Pokemon out, you bring a Pokeball and you use the Pokeball on the machine to accept the Pokemon.
And we will be doing that with y'all today with some randomization, because as you may have noticed from some of us bringing out our Pokemon earlier, there are Pokeball effects. These are things that haven't really been teased yet very well, and so you're going to get to see a lot of different ones, and a lot of different balls have different effects. And we'll use a little bit of hopper action here to fill my tank, and I'll also spam it, because we're going to show basically how you do this. You're going to fill your own tank, each of you, and once it's full, that's the noise that you'll hear, and you'll see the full tank of water, and then, not water, but, crazy stuff. Technical term.
Revival fluid even.
Revival fluid even, one might say. And then you're going to input your fossil and start seeing life be revived. If you take a look,
Life
Everyone just crowds around.
there's a very small speck in there. But you can see it on your own as well. So if you'd like to go and find your own fossil machine, you can grab one and you can start your own reviving process.
Do eggs count as the organic material that can go in there?
I
Like
believe
I
chicken eggs?
believe they
Yes.
do, yeah.
So in theory, you could set up a totally humane chicken farm above it as well, and let that just, you know, continuously keep putting the organic material
Yeah,
in over
you
time.
could
Yeah,
do
you could
that.
do that.
It also accepts things like milk and kelp, so you don't even have to do something that crazy.
There's something poetic though from going from chicken to dinosaur again.
All right, we have a
That's-
stage 2 embryo over here.
I totally intended that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take
Mine-
about 15 minutes for the revive process to finish.
Mine looks like a
So we're
grey
gonna-
poop.
Damn.
So we're gonna do a tour around this little center area. Let's start right here. So in Cobblemon 1.5, we're going to be having a lot of different natural forming structures. This right here is a fossil structure, aka a prehistoric structure. This has suspicious gravel in it and is called the eroded pillar. You'll find these in Badlands and biomes with red sand in them. You got a nice Tortuga skeleton up here. Tortuga swimming in the water. A little preview of your fossil Pokemon if you chose Tortuga. That I believe is the sail fossil for those of you who don't know. And then over here we got something very new. The 1.5 update will also have ruin structures. These ruin structures will have very specific loot that you'll learn about later and may or may not be somewhat dangerous. So be careful. This right here is the hidden bunker. The hidden bunker is a structure you'll find in snowy taigas. We have some fallen statues. Fallen statues are found in desert biomes, specifically with normal sand, no red sand biomes. Right here, you'll see in the picture that it's actually fallen over, but you can see this is the restored version. And it resembles a gullet. All of these structures you'll find randomly throughout your world. Over here is another ruin structure. These are your ruin toppled pillars, and it looks like our fossils are reaching the halfway point.
And I think we're kind of ready to move to like splitting the groups up into the wings,
Yeah,
the
into
shores of the
smaller-
wings. We're going to head into the fossil wing of the Cobbled Museum. Above us, if you didn't already notice, the massive Tortuga. This is an indication that we do believe that at one point, these Pokemon were this size. Not just a recreation. Japone, please stay close to the Tora group. Otherwise, it'll take too long. Your fossil, it might get away. Here, we see the entrance to the fossil wing and some lorem ipsum, but through enchantment text. Yes, very, very nice. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to travel through the several different, well, almost 20, I believe, fossil structures, and we're going to see a good deal of them, in part, at least. And this one, we're going to start with the anhydro agate on this photo here. This is an image, a render, of the anhydro agate spawning into a cave. It's actually in lush caves, and it's basically a geode structure, but is full of water. And in it, you'll find suspicious sand. Now, the suspicious sand, and continue, follow me. Actually, let me get my friend out here to help. I'll explain it later. The suspicious sand that you find in these structures, they have specific loot tables that will reward you with a guaranteed fossil in each of the structures. And then there's also a few of them that are sort of wild cards that could give you similar loot. Now, right up here we have the rooted pit, and you can see that there is a fossil displayed here that is, I believe, and please do not touch anything that is in the display cases in the museum. That is a root fossil, which I believe is Liliep. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I think so.
Perfect. And then we have the I did miss this one. This is the underwater fissure, actually, and there's another one called the hydrothermal vents. This one is, I believe, in deep ocean, and the other is in a warm ocean, the hydrothermal vents. We have the suspicious mound over here, which is more in plains or forests, I believe, and it is just a showcase, or it's a very like understated fossil structure, but in it you'll find suspicious sand and an expansion to archaeology in itself. We have hydrothermal vents, actually. I don't know if it's actually... Oh, it is displayed right here. Look at this. You could see your own Kabuto or Omanite in here. Just jamming out. And then we'll follow down along underneath. And we'll see the sun-scorched remains. And this one will be found in deserts and mesas. And you can see a bit of it peeking up above. Actually, oh no, that's going to be a different one. Just kidding. The sun-scorched remains shown off by the dead coral, I believe, that might be in there. Some of them have dead coral to show that it is not like necessarily a vanilla structure. One of the ways that we've sort of indicated that there is a fossil there without being overt, because we've wanted to mesh these structures in with the natural generation. We have the sandy den up top. Are there any questions at this point? We're around like halfway through the wing-ish.
No, it's all good.
And then we've got, that's the helix fossil, obviously. That's in Gen 1er. Punny. What did I say? Overt. Oh, God. Okay. Mossy pond structure up here. This is one that I've seen. Okay, well, I'll just say this. Once you have the world download from this file, basically, you'll be able to mess around and if you have messed around with the snapshots at all, the generation of these can be just absolutely incredibly perfect, and it kind of blows my mind, some of them. Now you'll see many more of them in the other wing as well, but they meld very well, and they do not disrupt the game, which is very nice, and it's indicative of just how long they've been there. The prehistoric oak tree, which seems to have the plume fossil. So if you're looking for an archen, that would be exactly where you'd want to go. Now let's dive back underneath, and we're going to look at some other items and mechanics. We have the dripstone oasis. That's a lush cave or dripstone cave. I think it's dripstone cave generally, but I'm not actually sure if it's both. And then over here we do have the submerged impact, which is more of a meteoric sort of structure, or a world-ending potentially. Research continues to ask these questions. We've got preserved skeletons from the Galar region, and yep, these ones all together, you're going to need 2 fossils, I believe. That Crab mentioned this, but basically the fossil machine will need 2 of these in order to make it, and obviously in some non-random fashion, potentially. And then let's dive under here to see more about the research facility within the museum. Now, you can see this is sort of just a display of our sort of supercharged fossils, fossil machines. We are generating tons of electricity. We have a lot of Ampharos in a basement. Don't worry about it. They're doing great.
They're getting paid, right?
Oh, they're paid and they're fed and they're in a pasture, and it's all happy. Now you can take a look at this potentially later if you'd like. There are some things in the museum that are a bit more interactive, but I prefer that you would leave it for after the tour while you're exploring the world. And inside here, you can see where one might have a pasture, potentially for a little, a little fossil, if you'd like.
Oh,
look at that guy. And he swims just like a nautilus. What a king. And then also here you can see all of the sprites for the fossils displayed within the display block, which hasn't been mentioned necessarily today, but the display block is also its own phenomenal piece of technology. Oh well. And then for our last stint in this room, actually, nope, that's it. Just kidding. I thought there was one more. And that concludes the fossil wing, built by the cobbled builders. What's going on, Rob?
Vet, how frequent are these structures out in the
Isn't
wild?
there more?
Come
backward.
in the wild. What's up? Oh,
There
did we
is a
miss?
bit more.
Did I miss one? I missed the
Yeah,
frozen
yeah,
pond. Oh no! Wait, what's that one too? And the frozen spike. Hold on, we'll go up here. Frozen spike first. So, in the world, these generate. It's biome based, and they do have like just like most structures. There's a minimum distance between them, so it's not incredibly frequent. What I'll say is that if I'm loading like say 48 chunks or something like that, you could see probably like 5 or 6 within the loaded chunks kind of thing if you're teleporting around using like, you're not going to see them very easily because they're not very obvious generally. This one is something where you definitely can see it, but some of them are in caves, so lush caves are definitely a good place to be looking, and some of them are you'll learn pretty quickly by exploring, and that is intentional. And the only place to find the fossils are in these structures, so exploring is the method for getting these Pokemon right now. And until breeding, that will continue to be true.
I'm assuming it's intentional, that it's a long-term project rather than you go out half an hour, you've got everything.
Correct.
Cool.
Yes. Some of them definitely will be harder to find too, because you will need to, if say you need to find a cave structure, then you're going to need to look through like lost caves or dripstone caves to find it, right? Or through oceans, and you'll have to go to specific places in order to look for the remains of a Pokemon that lived in that area.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So that one's the frozen spike, which, by the way, I've seen. I recently saw a generation of that one with a Geodude trapped in an air block inside of it, and he might be the avatar. I didn't ask. And finally, the frozen pond. And this is where the dead coral you can see will indicate something where it's actually very hard to tell if it's natural generation otherwise. But eventually, and the thing that you'll be recognizing is that there is Susk sand or Susk gravel within the structure. And that concludes the fossil wing. Any other questions, my friends, before we leave this area? I believe the ruins wing is a little bit more intensive because most of this is just looking around. I want you guys to get a visual, make sure, you see what you see. And
Each of the different areas has its own specific fossil, right? So they're not like, you can't find like the bloom fossil in like 3 of the structures. It's only into the one structure.
I believe they're all in multiple structures. However, it's biome based or temperature / like cave / environment based, whether or not you will be able to find that fossil in this structure kind of thing.
Yeah, can I bump in?
Okay.
For example, in the forest you could find the old ancient tree, and that always guarantees an archon, but you could find any other fossil in there. There's a chance for a fossil everywhere.
Okay.
Oh, are the...
Low chance, yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that the uncommon loot table thing? Like where you have your guaranteed and then the uncommon can pull anything?
Yeah, I believe.
Okay, there it is. So basically, there's, like I was saying before at the beginning, is there's one guaranteed fossil in a structure, and then the pool that is the uncommon can actually have any fossil in it. So apparently, so I was wrong. I take that back. It will be that you can potentially find any of them anywhere, but it's a very low chance, and then you'd be pulling from the whole pool. Now, in the ruins wing, these structures, they have similar suspicious sand and suspicious gravel. It is still based in archaeology. However, no fossils can be found in these structures. Are we missing anybody? No? All right. Let's head left into the ruins. and we'll start here actually, and we're going to go to the right after this. So the Gimme Ghoul chests are an actual spawn of a Gimme Ghoul, but in a chest form. Now you might think, oh, I'm going to get some sweet loot in this gilded chest coming up. No, friend. That is a Gimme Ghoul ready to steal your gold. And they can't actually steal gold, but they want to. And they would love to eat yours if you'll give it. And
So cute.
the gilded chests that I was talking about are right here. You can see some of them displayed in the back, and as if this was sort of a ruin, you have these new chests coming to Minecraft. You can open it. You can see that there's an opening animation and a closing animation. It looks very nice. You can see it's just, it's 27 slots, same thing as a chest. And I don't think the blast resistance is any different. I could be wrong. I have thought about that, asked about that, but it's a chest, but it's a beautiful one. It is made of apricorn, dried kelp, gold, and I want to say something else, but I'm blanking on it. Now, these are relic coins, and relic coins are going to be very important for the future of Cobblemon and for your Gimme Ghouls specifically in this update. Right now, they won't have too many uses, except for to provide you with the ability to evolve Gimme Ghoul. And that is that they are very hungry. They need a hoard of coins in order to evolve. And when evolved, they show off their Kalos girl special, the Goldango.
G-string man.
G-string man. Continuing. Now, some of this we will focus also on just the ancient discoveries within this room that aren't fossil-based, and some of that is the Hisuian starters. We do have a Hisuian Cyndaquil, Oshawott, and Rowlet. And these fun fellas are coming, and you'll be able to select them from the starter screen even in 1.5. Or, yeah, they'll be catchable in a biome and evolvable from a non-Hisuian version, I believe, in specific biomes. Let's go through here. Was there a question there? Or a comment? Well, here we have the Hall of Sherds and Pots, but both. And you can see that not only are there the vanilla new Archaeology Sherds and Pots, but we also have the... Oh, actually, I'll read this one for you guys. I forgot this side has books. So if you'll bear with me, among the items found in our dig sites were a variety of pottery sherds with 6 distinct patterns discovered as of now. The dome and helix sherds clearly resemble the Pokemon Kabuto and Omanite, which suggests that they live around the same time as these ancient humans, contrary to our prevailing theories. The capture sherd resembles a basic Pokeball, likely to be painted on the sides of pots dedicated for ball storage. Then the bygone and nostalgic sherds are rather crude illustrations of Rhydon and Cleavor respectively, but perhaps their visage actually means something. As for the most recent pattern discovered, the suspicious sherd, it appears to be a basic smiley face, but it's oddly warm to the touch.
That looks like Ditto.
It does look a bit like Ditto. Uncanny. Now in this room, you will see some new blocks that we have discovered. The Tumblestone block, which is a storage block. You can see the sky Tumblestone block up here, the blue. These are used to, we've found they have the properties that are congenial to, allowing you to throw a Pokeball further than you ever could before. And that's a technology that we couldn't figure out otherwise. And then you can see the green one, the greenish, darker green kind of color back here. These are the black Tumblestones, and they are used for throwing. They don't throw as far, but they seem to excel at catching heavier Pokemon.
So these balls that are in the displays here, are these what I think they are?
They are ancient Pokeballs.
Oh, that's so cool.
Now, the Tumblestones are a variety of long-forgotten mineral that have recently been rediscovered in our archaeological dig sites. They come in 3 varieties, the common orange variant, the sky variant, and the black variant. They each seem to have their own properties when used to craft Pokeballs, as I've said, but their other applications are yet to be discovered. although they all share common behavior when exposed to geologic heat like magma or lava. When placed down next to a heat source, tumblestones will begin to grow akin to budding amethyst, and are harvested similarly as well. So, once you have a tumblestone, this bottom left sprite you can see here, this item on the bottom left, that is a tumblestone that you can get from your archaeological explorations. And with it, you can place it against a block, put it near some lava or some magma, and grow it into a tumblestone cluster and collect it much as you would an amethyst cluster. Exciting stuff.
How long does it take on average for it to like grow?
I think it's similar to amethyst. Crab, you may know better than me. Yeah. Growing
Awesome,
speed.
thank you.
Yeah. And then the deserted town center. Now these are ones, I gotta admit, these are ones where when you see these, I think they match, they these ancient structures, they seem to appear seamlessly in the world and fit in very well with it. The deserted tower is something you may find that you may want to excavate, as it is rather sunken into the ground. Some of them will be on the surface, some of them submerged over time, of course. The deserted house. And you can see some suspicious sand in there. Let's keep moving. We'll go to the... Oh, this is actually a very special one. Now this one comes to us from those who appear to have been the creators of ancient automata. The automaton armor trim was one of many items uncovered in our archaeological dig sites. It bears an unmistakable resemblance to the Pokemon Golurk, perhaps implying that it was fashioned by the same peoples that created the Golett family in the first place. Perhaps. And you can see a likeness to the band-aid on Golurk's chest that appears on the trim. And a general structure consistency. Next up, we have the Rooted Arch, a very nice one. This is also in a lush cave, and you'll see some suspicious gravel without it or within it, at least when you find it in the world, but not maybe right here. Next, let's dive. I believe we need to go this way. Uh-oh, I'm lost. Nope, we'll just do this one. The Mossy Oubliette. Now, this is a dark one. This is found, I believe, in mangrove swamps, specifically. And the Mossy Oubliette is a crypt of sorts for those who were imprisoned. And, well, just watch out for what lies in them. We've found that there do seem to be some safety issues in some of these, so be careful on your explorations. Was there a question? Continuing this way, you can see all of the ancient Pokeballs that we have managed to craft up within the labs here at the Cobbled Museum. The ancient Pokeballs in the display cases before you, they're the real deal. These are not modern replicas fashioned from tumblestones, but these were the originals that we used to craft the new ones we use today. Only a few basic variations of them exists at this time. Anything like a repeat or timer ball, we have not found any like example of those in the ancient times. However, we have found, as I said, some very specific unique properties that we haven't been able to replicate with modern technology even. Now, I'm pretty sure we need to go this way. Let's go up one more stop. We're gonna go up these stairs and take a look at a more expansive view of some of these structures. And it can feel just like this to walk through them at times. Up here, you will find the decaying crypt and sort of what it looks like in an expanded view. Usually you'll be in the thick of it and dealing with whatever troubles there might be. Apparently there's a vermin in there. And then we come to perhaps one of the most exciting forms of structure we've been finding plenty of, and they seem to appear in many different biomes, are gimme towers. The gimme ghoul towers, and this is a frozen variant you can see here. They are long abandoned towers, and well, I'll read specifically on the frozen one that seem to be from a fairly advanced ancient civilization. Be careful, some of the towers have been reclaimed by nature or mobs. They could be dangerous. And if you'd like, you can sort of experience one here, without the danger, of course. This one we have recreated from past explorations. And you can see on each level there may be some things here, some pouches to be found. That is a relic coin pouch. And continuing up, you can see that there is a gilded chest at the top. There are some pots around. A nice view. And just a good old time. Now, let's drop down right here. We'll do some adventuring of our own. And we'll take a look at one more spot. The Crumbling Arch. This is, even though Gimme Towers are probably going to be the most prolific thing out in the world currently, the Crumbling Arch is potentially my favorite, as it is indicative of something perhaps more expansive having existed in the caves at one time. This one could be special in the future. We've still not uncovered everything, of course. So why don't we rejoin the group? And for those of you who still need a fossil and didn't steal my fossil, let's go.
Also, well done everyone for making an archaeology update, which is actually good. Because, you know, the Mojang wasn't quite as exciting as this, let's just say.
Everybody in my group, come to this dispenser, stand in front of it if you'd like, and grab a Pokeball. It will randomly dispense a Pokeball, and you can get a different Pokeball effect by using it on your fossil to capture it. And basically get different particles when you bring it out. And if you don't get anything crazy, then, you know, whatever. Did you get a Master Ball, Rob?
Right-click on the fossil machine.
Yeah, I did.
You did get a Master Ball.
I got a Master Ball.
Fact, a Master Ball in there.
Well done.
So sorry, how do we just right click with the
That's
ball?
amazing.
Yeah, right click
With the
from
ball,
very
yeah,
close. Don't throw it, but get close and right click. Thank you
With
to
the ball,
whoever
right.
put my fossil back.
Yeah, right click with the ball.
Yep, get right in there. Oh, they're beautiful.
Honestly, that was such a good surprise. They're amazing.
Yes.
So, are you able to like change the, you know, like the effects and everything that when you throw a ball, like, you know, do you see all the sparkles and everything? Is there ways that you'll be able that we can change it or customize?
So in the future, we do have plans to add a workstation that allows you to modify which Pokeball your Pokemon is in. But at the moment, that's not super high priority. We've also talked about doing stickers, right, Chroma?
Yeah, we have. The whole, like, stickers or ball seal system is something that's on our to-do list.
The Gimme Ghouls out in the world, and there are roaming forms and also chest forms, as we've seen. They are hungry for gold, but also for other things. If, as you can see here, potentially netherite. In fact, the gold and netherite scrap bonding process is apparently very interesting to them. And so, you know, you netherite beacon lovers, potentially this could be an interesting avenue to spend your valuable resources on. And as you are exploring this world, you may want to pay attention to that potentially.
Now, unfortunately, I had a very limited time to explore this world, but hopefully that gives you a bit of an overview of all of the cool things that are coming up in the next Cobblemon update. It seems very exciting. I really can't wait to give it a go. This is unfortunately a sneak peek, so the new update isn't ready as of yet. It will be coming as soon as obviously the devs have ironed out all of the bugs, but hopefully gives you a bit of an idea of all of the cool things that are on the way. So thanks again to the Cobblemon team for showing us around the server and for the brilliant work they've been doing. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!